All right, guys, we're back from the CSI Expo. We've been going through the 10 ball brackets earlier. World 10 ball, it's underway, and we have a really special interview for you guys right now. I came in here, what was it, Mike, 8 days ago? And there was a young man hitting balls on this table right here in front of me. And I'm like, man, he's splitting the pocket every single time. Who is this kid? And I was fortunate enough to meet him. His name's Eric Roberts, and he joins us here today. How's it going, Eric?
Doing pretty good. Just playing a bunch of pool and enjoying my time here in Vegas.
I tell you what, Eric, what a tournament so far.
Yeah, it's exciting. I came off a rough start in the Las Vegas Open, but I went hill with Shane twice, and then felt really good about myself. Had my opportunities, but here in the World 10 Ball, I'm really enjoying my time, and I feel really good with the way I'm playing right now.
How was it playing Shane? Was that your first time?
That was my first time playing Shane.
Were you a little starstruck, or?
I was really nervous at first, but as the match went on and I started getting comfortable on the table, and just the nerves went away, and I just really wanted to beat him, but had my opportunities and just couldn't get it. So
tell people about you, where you're from, how you got started playing pool, how old you are, that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm originally from Leesburg, Florida, and I now live in Crossville, Tennessee. And my dad started me out in this game, and because he used to work at a pool hall and used to take me up there as a little baby, and then I just fell in love with the game. He basically turned on pool on the TV just as a babysitter for me, which
sounds like me.
That's like contributing to delinquency of a minor.
But yeah, it was just awesome. I enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it to this day, and I'm having fun with my life, playing this game that I love and following my dreams.
How did you make it out here? If I remember right, there was a post on social media by Rhonda.
Yes, I was wanting to come to the Las Vegas Open for like ever since it first started, and I haven't had this like opportunity yet. So I found out Rhonda and Max Adams was getting an Airbnb, and they decided to invite me, and I had to come stay, and then I'll get myself in the Las Vegas Open, and then wait, no, Skylar Woodward and Ashley, and I think Phil MP from Money Match Promotions.
Yeah, Phil. Mm-hmm.
They both split it to put me in the Las Vegas Open.
Nice.
And that's whenever I booked my flight and I got my butt out here because I wanted to play in it. And then luckily after the Shane match, I got the opportunity to get invited to the World 10 Ball. And it surprised the heck out of me, but I'm really thankful for it.
Tell us about your relationship with Sky Wilber.
I've known Skylar since 2010, since I was 7 years old.
Wow.
We used to play in the Junior Nationals together. His last 2 years were my first 2 years in the Junior Nationals. Same with Billy Thorpe. And so I've known these guys for a little bit, and they've been really good to me, really good friends to me for a while now. And it's just fun watching them play, and then especially playing the Moscone Cup. And that's where I'll be doing Scotch doubles with them soon.
Have they said anything to you since a few of your big wins here in the World 10 Ball? Have they been talking to you?
Here and there. I haven't really seen Billy around. I think he might have already left already. I'm not sure yet. But Skylar talks to me every now and then about how I'm playing and that. So
it's pretty nuts because, you go double or whatever it was. You go to the second set with Shane. Okay, maybe somebody has a good run. Then you beat Niels Fine.
Yeah.
And Niels Fine's a world champion. And it's no disrespect to Shane because Shane is Shane. But that's kind of like, that for me was like, okay, maybe this kid can play a little bit. It wasn't just a, one good set.
Yeah.
How was it like playing the Terminator?
It was awesome because I really look up to that guy because I just have a lot of respect for him because he holds himself really good on the table, and just the way he plays is awesome. And what he's accomplished in this game is just amazing. And then I've always looked up to him as somebody that I would want to play someday, and maybe take a little bit from his game and incorporate it into my game.
And whoop him.
It's the funniest thing because Eric's been hanging around here because we're next to Off the Rail, and Eric's been hanging out and about here off and on throughout the whole event. And you beat Shane, and then I hear Eric Roberts beat Shane. I'm like, okay, great. I don't know who Eric Roberts is. Then Eric Roberts beats Niels, and I'm like, okay, great. Eric Roberts. And then Rhonda's like, did you see how Eric's doing? And I'm like, well, I mean, I saw on the bracket. And she's like, I was like, who's Eric? And he's like, he was right here. And I said, that's Eric. He's the one beating everyone. I mean, it's crazy. To go and have the run that you had, and you follow that up with playing on a TV table against Yukio, who's Japan's #1 player. What was it like getting your feet wet on that stage? Because it's different when you're playing out in the open area versus, the lights are on, the camera's on. There's arena seating, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, it's completely different because the TV table rolls really fast compared to the outside tables, and the lighting is just so much way brighter than the rest. So it's like kind of adjusting your eyes to it, and then plus just walking around the table is like all like squishy because it's
The
the
carpet.
mats or
Yeah.
something like that they
padded.
have.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different than the outside tables, and like I said, it rolls really fast in that. So I was struggling for the most part in that match, but he was too, and luckily I came out with a win.
I tell you what, we got done here, and I went straight to the TV table because I saw it was getting a little tight. I think it was 7-6. You were up, and then Yukio was running out to make it 7-7, and now it's your break. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, we'll see what this kid's made of. It's Hill. It's time. You lose, you're done. You're going home, and you were like butter. Broke the balls.
Broken ram?
Broken ran. Yeah, broken ran the last ride.
That's what's up.
And it wasn't it looked like the 4 ball was a little bit tricky, but then when they showed the angle, it looked like it had a window. But I mean, he was just smooth, man. And the poise, that was the biggest thing that I took away from it, was that the moment didn't go and overcome you.
Yeah, I've honestly like trained myself to like try to control the nerves as much as I can, because I had a big problem with that like in my early stages of like really competing in a bunch of these tournaments, and just train myself to the point where I can control it decently well. And I it's been working out really well for me this whole entire tournament, so I'm really happy with it.
It's interesting because a lot of times we look at top players and we see them out there competing and we just assume that they're machines and they don't get nervous. But every player we've had in this seat talks about getting nervous, including
yeah.
the Coe brothers, the top players in the world.
Mhm.
And it seems like at such a young age, you went through a period where it was like you were starstruck or you were a little bit nervous, and you found a way to overcome that already.
Mhm.
So what do you think? Like, is it sky the limit for you? Do you think you could be one of the top players in the world someday?
Most definitely, because I know I have the potential. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but I really do have the confidence in myself to get where I want. And with God by my side, anything's possible. And I what's going on right now in this tournament is like proof of it, because nobody expected like me to begin in the top 32 whatsoever.
Of a world championship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of a world
Look,
championship. So
Yap's gone. Ko Ping Chung's gone.
Copen Yee's just got knocked out too.
Ko Ping Yee's out. Wow, by Sharik. That's a big.
Wow, big win
that's
by
huge. Yeah.
Shrek.
I mean, like there's some massive names. Albin Ocean, who had the best year last year, is out. So I mean, you got to feel a certain level of accomplishment, but at the same time, are you still hungry to continue your run here?
No doubt about it. I want to win this thing. I want to prove
Win the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I want to prove to everyone that I'm here to stay. I want to be in the Moscone Cup for a long time, and I want to bring back I want to bring Team USA that Moscone Cup gold every single year. And so I'm just trying to prove myself to everyone and trying to prove that I'm here to stay on USA and just be the best player I can be.
If the redraw happens, whoever you're matched up against, and you lose 8-0, it's still been a great tournament for you, but I know you'll be disappointed. So how do you manage that with what you've accomplished already, but still stay focused on the task at hand and try to get there?
Good question.
Um, just try to keep calm and try to keep your composure together and hold the nerves as much as you can, because the nerves is really what like costs a bunch of players in most of these tournaments. So holding those nerves to a certain point really helps out, and it, especially like in hill situations and that, and especially whenever you're on the hill, you got that pressure on you to make the last balls and win the match and move on. So you got that pressure right there, and whenever you control that pressure really well, and it works out really well for you.
Well, you did it yesterday. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I thought to myself that kid's like butter, man. Because he's just you wouldn't have been able to tell. It was like it's like with Joey Ryan is busting me up. He don't have a care in the world. That kind of
No pressure.
Yeah, he knows even if he misses, he still wins.
Well, to me, this is one of those events, Eric. And, I've never got to where you are in the world championship, but I've had tournaments before where you go into the tournament feeling a certain way about yourself and other people viewing you a certain way. But by the end of the tournament, you impress yourself and others so much that it's like you took a huge leap. There's some tournaments where you might take like pool is a game of growth gradually. But this is a tournament where you can grow a lot. What have you learned so far in this event?
Oh, gosh, there's so much I've learned already. I mean, just getting the experience out here and knowing that I can hang with these guys if I really wanted to. And just, I mean, there's just so much that I've learned that I don't know, like, really what to say,
It's hard to put it into words.
Yeah, it's hard to put it into words because this is such a, like, surreal experience that I've never had before, and I'm extremely thankful for it.
The first day I met you, I saw your case, and it has a nickname on your case. It says Eric. I'm looking at it right now. Eric, last word Roberts, and I was like, "Where in the
I don't know if
world
that's
did that?"
the nickname you need,
Yeah,
buddy.
Well, where did that come from? Because you don't strike me as someone who needs to get the last word. But tell everybody what you told me.
Okay, so like I was nicknamed that by Dr. Q at the very first junior nationals because I was really cocky back then. Like, as young
How
as
old
I
were you?
was,
How old?
I was 7, and I was really cocky because I wanted to beat everybody, and I wanted to beat Dr. Q so bad, just playing him, and he always noticed that I always wanted to get the last word against him.
You were woofing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was just cocky back then. So just wanted to get the last word against him every single time, and he decided to just call me last word, and somehow it just stuck. And stuck. But I mean, there's been so many other nicknames that people try to give me. That somebody tried to give me the emergency room. That's cringe. I don't want that.
That's a terrible nickname.
Yeah, I know,
Who the
right?
hell thought of that?
I know it. I can't remember who thought of that, but I still remember it to this day, and it was terrible.
Yeah, I'd say so. No, listen, you're having a great event, and you got a lot of things to be proud of. But I like that there's still hunger there. So I'm curious, what's next for you after Las Vegas is over with? What's your schedule like?
Well, the following weekend, after Vegas, I got to go to Ohio, well, Kentucky or Ohio, either or, and play in the Queen City Classic. And then right after that, there's I think there's $1,000 added tournament in Greenville, Tennessee. So I'm gonna go play in that, and I'm definitely gonna be going to the International Open again this year. I'm hoping to see what's going on with the U.S. Open. I'd love to play in that as well, and just so many more tournaments I'd love to play in.
Well, it was just announced today that the Super Billiards Expo is now is a Moscone Cup rankings event. So I know it's short notice, but maybe that might be something to kind of pencil in there if you're able to.
Yeah. When is it again?
Mid-April.
Yeah, a few
Mid-April?
weeks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
It's coming up.
We got to make.
I'll have
Well,
to
look.
think about it.
How quick did you raise money? So you didn't. We didn't talk about that post. But when you found out that you were invited to the World Championship, you put a post out like, "Hey, I don't even think you asked, but you just said, "Hey, I'm in the World Championship." And Billy Thorpe, I think, jumped up and said he'd pay half your entry, and Nick
Yeah,
De Leon jumped in, and
the funny thing was Billy was too late to pay for my half. Same with Jason Shaw, because Jason Shaw even said that you'll put up half as well. So
It's pretty incredible.
both of them were late to it because there was already somebody in like a matter of like 5 minutes after I posted that. Two people was already gave me like 375, 300
jeez,
just to put me into it.
what is
So
it? Especially, not taking anything away from the people who did give you the money beforehand, but players to the caliber of Billy Thorpe and Jason Shaw. What does that feel like that they have the
They got
confidence
faith in
to
you.
put you in the
it feels amazing because I've known Billy for a while. I've met Jason Shaw a while back, and then they've all been really good guys to me, and it's just pretty awesome to have them like offer me that and put me into a tournament like this to play with them because it's like a sort of like a dream come true, and it's just an awesome experience to have and just a feeling to have that opportunity that those two players thought about me. So it's really nice.
when you look at the top players in the world right now, you see yourself maybe in 15 years. Which of those top players would you like to emulate, not just on the table, but off the table?
Well, I really try to base my like fundamentals off of Alvin Ocean. I really love his fundamentals. I think they're one of the best in the game. I've tried to imitate Shane Van Boning's break on the 10 ball.
Good luck.
I'm getting there though. I'm getting pretty good at the pop and that, but still trying. I mean, there's still a lot of practice to go. But the main person that I like looked up to on like attitude wise is Landon Shuffett. Landon Shuffett, amazing. He's by far probably he had so much potential. He in my honest opinion, if he was still playing to this day, he would be better than Shane Van Boening. In my honest opinion, he was that good, and the way he held himself on and off of the table, just everything about his game was amazing. And that's why I looked up to him whenever I played with him in the junior nationals and wanted to be like him. And it just, it was awesome to have him as like a role model for me. And that to base everything off of like my attitude off of him.
Melina Mike, I see you're scrolling through the comments there. It's pretty impressive the things that people are saying about this young man already, right?
Yeah, no kidding. And a lot of people are proud of you. A lot of people are rooting you on. A lot of people are supporting you. And yeah, man, it's a hell of an event, and you got a lot of things to take away from this. And like Joey said, I mean, this is one of those events where you're on the radar now. You start beating names like Yukio. You start beating names like
Niels.
like a Niels. You're in the final 32 of a world championship when there's a lot of American players who are out. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great guys who are still in. Blaine Barkus, I don't know how he ended up doing against Wu Kun Lin, but he was in there in the final 64. Of course, you got Shane and Corey who are in. Corey's actually playing right now.
Blaine Barkus won.
Blaine Barkus beats Wu Kun Lin. That's a massive victory for
Wow.
Blaine. Wow. Oscar's in the final 32. Danny Olson's out. It's you got to have a tournament to put your footprint on it. On in that class of player, and this is a great first step. So I'm super proud of you, and I know Joey's super proud of you as well.
Thank you, because it means a lot in that, and I've worked so hard to really get where I'm at, and I'm so glad to have this opportunity to like prove myself to everybody that I'm the next thing coming, and then everybody watch out because I'm coming.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't want to cut this interview short, but I just want to let the viewers know that every day around 1 p.m., it resets the internet. So if that happens here, I'll have to refresh. We'll be down for about 15 seconds if that happens. But hang with us here. A couple people are asking, what do you play with, Eric? What cues do you play with?
Everything Michi. My favorite cue to play with. It just plays so well. So yeah, everything just Michi.
Moochie break cue.
Michi break cue, Michi jump cue, Michi playing cue.
Got the whole setup.
Whole setup.
Yeah.
What are the sponsors you got, Eric?
I have Castillo Leather Goods, Outsville Inc.
Let me ask you this before you go on. Max Adams has been out here on this table, and we've been playing a lot of one pocket with him. You've been beating the balls around some one pocket. Do you ever play any one pocket?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you like the
Yeah,
game.
I
You're in Tennessee,
love
so
the
there's a
game.
lot of one pocket out there,
Yeah,
right?
a lot of one pocket in Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio. So it's a really fun game.
Well, I tell you what, we've been really impressed with you over the last few days, and it goes well outside of just you on a pool table.
You as a person.
We believe in you,
Thank you.
and so we want to bring you on.
All right.
So there's a little hat for you, and we'd like to help you to get some of these events, and
All
let
right.
you represent our brand, 1PKT.
Of course.
Yeah, and us representing you, man. You know,
Thank you.
you got a great head on your shoulders, and we're super proud and just how composed and your abilities as well. You know, but the main thing is, you know, be a good person. And
Of course.
that was the one thing that before I knew who Eric Roberts was, it was you just hanging out here and just just being solid. So yeah, we're super happy to bring you on. We don't have a big stable, but yeah, we'd love to be on Team Eric Roberts, man.
Appreciate it.
So we're right about at that 1 o'clock mark. I don't want this interview to get fragmented in any way. So we're gonna let you go, Eric. We know you got more pool to play, so
Yeah,
we want to
of
give you a
course.
chance to go hit some balls or eat some lunch. I know you're probably hungry.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'm definitely hungry.
We want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
We're excited to have you on the team, Melina Mike. If this kid shocks the world, if he wins the next several matches and he wins this event, is this the biggest pool story in the last 5 years?
I mean, I ain't trying to put that kind of pressure on the kid, but it's massive.
I
It's
can
massive.
handle the pressure.
I mean, like you see Cinderella stories all the time in sports, right? You saw it in the NCAA tournament. You have a 15 seed going deep and knocking off all these big, what do they call it? The blue schools, right? Whatever they call it. You have these moments in sports, and then you got to be able to go and sustain after that. You've been taking down some great names. You got a lot of potential, and you're starting to live up to it. Well, I mean, you've already, been living up to it, but you got the future looks bright for you. We're proud to be behind you. We'll be supporting you any way we can, whether it's through 1PKT or any of our other platforms that me and Joey have available to us. Yeah, man, we're happy to get to know you, man.
Thank you.
Tons of support in the comments. Tons of support. A lot of fans pulling for you. Last word goes to you, Eric. Last word, Roberts.
Yes, sir.
Tell people what you want to tell them.
Thank you guys for the support. It means so much to me, and I'm so glad to have this opportunity that y'all guys gave me, and everybody that's been behind me from Florida, from Tennessee. I love you guys.
One other thing, I'm going to get in the last word here.
Melina, last word, Mike.
If you want to go to the expo, I got 100 on your entry fee. And if
All right.
anybody else wants to do it, get a hold of me or get a hold of Eric. And
Make
y'all
that
can donate to it.
200.
Sounds
Me
good.
too.
Okay, so I got 100 from me, 100 from Joey, and if you decide you want to go to the expo, all right,
Yeah, all right.
buddy.
Let's do
Thanks,
it,
man.
All right. We'll see you guys.